Hey, happy Monday. Thanks for joining us. On this Monday forecast here, we are talking about several different chances to see some strong to severe storms today, as well as several different chances for hail. It looks like we have a hail risk up in Colorado that could impact Denver today. It's mainly on the eastern side of Colorado, but it could impact Denver. Severe wind gusts from thunderstorms through just to the west of Colorado. So we're talking about Utah all the way up to Montana. And then we also have critical fire danger continuing for today. Getting into that poor air quality. So I actually noticed yesterday here in Oklahoma City that we had a very, very red sunset. I said even, do we have some smoke out to the west? Do we have poor air quality? And that is exactly what it is. We're even seeing the impacts here in Oklahoma. We'll talk about that in just a minute, but I do want to get to the Texas Roofing Conference. So this is on September 11th through the 13th at the Irving Convention Center. We do have exclusive deals for annual plans during the show. So if you're thinking about getting a Hail Trace annual plan, come see us at the Irving Convention Center on September 11th through the 13th. We would love to talk to you about getting you set up with that plan. We've got exclusive deals for that day. So go ahead, head over to our Facebook page. After the forecast here, we will have a link for you to sign up and get those tickets for that conference. It's not only just to see us, but there's going to be a lot of other roofing contractors and other businesses there that you can mingle and see other booths as well. So we want you to come see Hail Trace at that event. Let's take a look at your current conditions right now. We do have some showers and storms exiting Oklahoma. Holy moly, we got tons of rain yesterday here in Oklahoma City. We got over 5 inches in some places. So there was a ton of rain in the city, anywhere from Edmond all the way down to Norman. That caused some flooding issues throughout the morning hours on Sunday. Right now we're also getting rain out near St. Louis and then even off to the East Coast. And off to the East Coast is one of those areas that we are going to be keeping an eye on for some stronger storms today that could be producing some of that strong wind that we've been talking about. Just one of the hazards that we're watching for today. We're also watching for showers and storms anywhere from Utah all the way up to Montana for some strong wind in this area. And later on today, not popping up quite yet, we'll be watching for storms out near Denver and then all the way to the eastern portion of Colorado, even into Wyoming, Kansas, Nebraska, even in the Oklahoma Panhandle and down to New Mexico. But let's take a look at your current temperatures as you head outside ready for lunchtime. What do you see out there? 79 here in Oklahoma City, 91 in Dallas. A big, big difference between those temperatures in Oklahoma versus the temperatures in Texas. We've really enjoyed that break in the heat across the central portion of the U.S. this weekend. Temperatures were in the 70s and 80s. It was a nice change. We've got 76 up in Denver, not too bad. 71 in Kansas City. 95 in Las Vegas. Here, let's take a zoomed in look of Oklahoma City right now. We do have a few 80s on the board, so it looks like temperatures will be warming up here pretty soon, a little bit warmer today than what we saw yesterday. Temperatures are in the 90s farther down into Dallas, 91 as you head out the door, but if you factor in the humidity for your lunchtime hour, it feels like 98 out there. Okay, let's see, who's the highest on the board right now? We've got 107. A tie for 107 down in Corpus Christi and into Florida. Yeah, it's a hot day for some of us. Others get a little bit of a break with some cloud cover here in the central portion of the U.S. Now, taking a look at that next chance for strong to severe storms, we do have instability anywhere from southern Texas all the way up to Oklahoma, but that is not the only thing that you need for severe storms or strong to severe storms. One area that I want to focus on is this area from Denver all the way into eastern Colorado to the western side of Kansas, Nebraska, Wyoming, and even parts of New Mexico. That's an area that you can see as those storms go up today, they're going to be using up a lot of that instability. Now, it's not too impressive for instability. It's a little bit more impressive on the hail side here. So taking a look at the significant hail model here, we do have a pretty good area that we could see some of that larger hail up to the size of a golf ball in this area, anywhere from Denver all the way to eastern Colorado, as I mentioned earlier. I know you see some of this little yellow area down in northern Oklahoma. However, I do think that we are going to stay pretty dry up in northern Oklahoma today. Maybe an isolated storm, but we're going to have better chances farther off to the west. So here you go. I have a low chance for Pueblo, Denver, and into Cheyenne. Hail sizes, I think they're going to trend on the smaller size for the most part. However, that doesn't mean we can't get an isolated golf ball sized hail in there. That's definitely not out of the picture. However, I think for the majority of these showers and storms that'll be popping up later on today, it will be on the smaller size, about 1 inch to 1.25 inches. You can see these are mostly pretty scattered here. I was right in between. Should I do a low or a moderate risk level? I think it could have gone either way for today. I went ahead and said low risk level just because we did have more of that instability farther down to the south. Maybe if I put a location down farther south, I would have put that moderate risk level. Either way, we can get showers and storms for Denver today, and I'll show you that full forecasted radar in just a few minutes here. Some of the largest hailstones that we could see, as I mentioned earlier, most hailstones will trend on this side of the board. They'll be on the smaller side. However, could we see one of the larger hailstones? That is definitely possible. I think they could get up to golf ball sized, but that will be very, very isolated. You're going to need a very specific storm to do that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the wind speeds. Winds will be trending anywhere from about 60 to 70 miles an hour. If it's over that 58 mile per hour mark, it will be severe warned. You can see that we've got high wind potentially anywhere from northern Montana all the way down to Utah. I think this will be an area with the most likelihood of some of that stronger wind. And then we've also got strong wind with some of those storms that could produce that large hail farther out into eastern Colorado. We've also got an area farther out to the east that we'll talk about in just a minute in North Carolina, just along the east coast, from some of those storms that you see right now that'll be tracking off to the Atlantic in the next few hours. However, we'll be tracking that for strong to severe wind as well. Let's take a look at that future radar because we are expecting showers and storms to pop up anytime between now into the late evening hours. Let's really zoom down here and take this city by city. Starting with North Carolina, you can see those showers and storms have already popped up. They will slowly be tracking off to the east, ending right around or shortly before dinner time, tracking off of the east coast, bringing a strong wind up to about 60 to 70 miles per hour with this. We call this marginally severe, just barely above that severe threshold. Taking you farther out to the west now, okay? We'll do Denver, we'll do Colorado last. We're gonna be talking about Utah, anywhere from Salt Lake City all the way up to Montana. We'll see some of these showers and storms pop up around the early to mid-afternoon hours. That'll be pretty scattered in the Utah area, more isolated the farther north that you travel. And then we'll continue to see this as we head into the late night hours, maybe even picking up some of that low-level jet action, as well as out in eastern Colorado that could also be impacted by the low-level jet. Okay, let's restart our time here. Let's go back to 12:30 right now, and let's take a look at Colorado. You can see we don't have anything on the radar right now. However, within the next hour or two, we're going to start to see showers and storms popping up just to the west of Denver. It'll be isolated at first, but becoming a little bit more scattered as we head into the dinner time hours. So right around your evening commute, you could be having showers and storms right through the city. Some of those could be strong to severe, so make sure that you check the radar before you head out from work and make sure that you're giving yourself a little bit of extra time. Don't try to rush home today because it could be a wet one. You could have water on the roadways or even strong storms in your area. Okay, showers and storms will continue to track off to the east as we head into the late night and overnight hours, really losing a lot of their oomph as they head into Kansas and Nebraska. Into tomorrow morning, we could still see some showers and storms lingering out there, but I do think that they'll be on the non-severe side. Alrighty, let's talk temperatures. Unfortunately, if you are here with us here in Oklahoma, it's going to be a hot one over the next few days. That nice weather that we got this last weekend is going to turn a lot hotter as we head into Tuesday with temperatures in the upper 90s, very similar for Dallas down here. It looks like those temperatures will stay above average all the way through the Gulf, down to the south, and even farther out to the west. The southern half of the U.S. staying very hot over the next few days. We will continue this hot trend as we head into Friday as well. You can see even into the middle to late portion of August, it looks like we have a pretty good likelihood of being above average anywhere from places like Houston, Dallas, and Oklahoma City, where normally you'd say, sure, it's hot this time of the year. We're usually in the 90s. We're not talking about just 90s here. We're talking about above average. So our average this time of the year here in Oklahoma City is 94. We have a high likelihood to be above 94 as we head into the second to last week of August. Denver, very similar, high likelihood to be above 89, and then a pretty good chance to be above 84 in Chicago. What about those rain chances? Over the next 5 days through the central portion and Midwestern states, it looks like we have a pretty good chance to see at least about 1 to 2 inches of rain. But as we head into the later portion of August, we may go into a little bit of a dry zone here, especially down into the southern portion of the U.S. More rain farther out to the west, more rain out to the east, but a little bit drier here in the central portion of the U.S. These are kind of, the dog days of summer where we don't have the rain and it's just really, really hot. But of course, we'll be tracking that for you. If we don't have storms here in central U.S., we'll be tracking the storms on the coasts. We'll be, of course, keeping an eye on that hurricane forecast as well. We didn't have enough time to talk about it today, but I'll make sure that's in the forecast for tomorrow. Thanks for joining us on this Monday afternoon. I hope you started your week off on a good note. Give us a follow. If you're a weather enthusiast like we are, you're going to love our social media channels, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and of course TikTok. If you like to see the behind the scenes of the forecast, you can head over to TikTok. We do a live on TikTok every day. And then of course, if you're interested in a plan for hail, wind, or tornado maps, you can give us a call at 855-334-4245. Email us at info@hailtrace.com or head over to our website, hailtrace.com. Okay, have a fantastic Monday. We'll see you back here, same time, same place tomorrow.